I have a card idea for you this morning, which is quite interesting. One you may or may not have seen before. This is the never-ending card, that's what I call it. So it's a neat idea you've got here. So I just focus that camera for you. Here we go. Okay, so here's the front of the card, but there's actually more to it. So you fold it, and here's a new card front. Fold it again, and another message. Fold again, and a new layout. Fold again, and you're back to the beginning. Okay, so it's quite a neat wee flip card. It just keeps going and going. If you look at it from this angle, if you start from this side, it's a wee bit different all the way through again. So here's layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, and back to layer 5, which is the first one as well. So there's 4 different views of this card that you can have, which is quite cool. Lots of space for photos, lots of space for sentiments, lots of space for messages, and I'm going to show you this morning how you can make one of these yourself really simply. It looks complicated at first. You think, oh, there's no way I can do that, but actually when you break it down into the steps, you will be surprised at how easy this card is to do. So the one I'm going to show you this morning will end up looking like this. It's using some brushed paper and some brushed colours. Inside you've got a piece of chantilly which coordinates beautifully. Open again, and you've got the reverse side of the brushed B&T, and then you've got the original again. So that's what it's going to look like, what we're going to make today. So I'll take you through that. Nice simple project. You'll be surprised how easy it is to create for yourself. These are the colours I'm going to use. I'm going to use Juniper for my card base. That's that one there. I'm going to use a piece of brushed front and back for one of the textures, one of the colours inside the card. And I'm going to use this side of an old piece of chantilly, which is no longer available, the pear pattern, which matches quite nicely with the brushed, for my third colour. So the first thing I need to do is cut up my card base, which is my Juniper, into 2 6x6 squares, and I'll just show you what that looks like when we've done. These are my 2 pieces of Juniper, 6 inches by 6 inches squares. They need to go together to make the 2 layers for the card, so it's going to end up being a 6-inch square card. You need those, and you need to score both of them 1.5 inches from the edge. So both layers scored 1.5 inches on each edge. The squares have both been scored 1.5 inches in each edge, and now you're going to turn it this way and cut them directly down the middle. So this is going to be at 3 inches, and this one the same, straight down the middle at 3 inches. Right, now comes the time to put it together, to reassemble your card. Now when you stick it together, you're only going to glue it in the very outside corners. So I'm going to put a bit of glue here, here, here and here, so just a little bit of adhesive in each corner. Now I've found from experience that liquid glass, which is what I'm using here, is really the best one for a 3D project such as this. You don't want it to come apart, so the liquid glass is really great for that. I'm putting a little bit in each corner, and I'm going to press it down. So there. I want to do this, of course, before it dries. Line it up, press, same here. And press. Okay. Alright, so I'm just adhering that together. So as you saw, I want each of the cuts to be going a different way. So this one on this side here, straight down, the one on the back, straight across. So it's important that they go in different directions, so they're perpendicular to each other. Right, I can start folding those scored edges back. So fold it back this way and really press it down. You can use your bone folder for that. Just get it a nice firm fold. Here we go. Okay, so that is now the card base complete. 6 by 6 inch card base is complete. Now all I have to do is decorate it. So for each section I want to create a separate decorative piece of paper. So this bit here is 3 inches by 3 inches, so I'm going to cut it just slightly smaller, just inside the 3-inch mark, so it should fit perfectly. I've got this side to cover, this side to cover, plus the inside where I've got my unfolding. So as I said, these pieces are, the section itself is 3 inches by 3 inches. So if I want it to fit within the section neatly, then I need to make it just slightly smaller. So these are 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. This one here, the section itself is 1.5 inches by 3 inches. So if you want it to fit neatly, you need to cut your piece 1 3/8 by 2 7/8. So there we go. That's the basic, that's the start, that's the front and the back done. So they're stuck down. It's just the inside now to decorate. So this bit is a little bit more complicated. These are simple. So you've got 2 squares and 4 rectangles on both sides. The inside is a little bit more in depth. So you've got 2 squares there, and actually this bit's actually a square as well. You'll see what I mean when I start sticking. So we'll do these 2 squares and those 2 side squares first. This is my pre-cut pieces from the Chantilly. So these 2 go here, but these actually aren't rectangles, they're actually squares that you can unfold them and see the other side in a minute. So I'll stick these down. There. And when you unfold this inner piece, you can see these as well are Chantilly squares. So you need, instead of just needing 2, you need 4 squares that fit the 3-inch shape for the third colour, for the third paper. Okay, so that's the start, and then we've got squares here. So 4 squares in the corner, and they match with these same 4 here. 1 2 3 4. Alright, for this last part you're going to need 8 squares to fill in the gaps. Of course you can do them any patterns you like, but I'm sticking with the Chantilly, the green. So I've got, these are 1.5 inches by 1.5 inch squares. So I've cut my piece of Chantilly to coordinate just a little bit smaller. So I've made it fractionally smaller than that. It's ended up being 1 inch and 3/8. So it's just slightly smaller than the 1.5 inch size. It's 1 3/8. So there's the first 4. There are a couple more to go. If you flip it over, you see that the other 4 are revealed here. I love dry glue. It's so great because it's so easy. You can do the whole lot at once and it's not drying on me. Okay, so I've got my last 4 ones in here. It's a little bit wonky. Okay, so now you can see how it goes. We'll start with the front page. Well, front page, back page, doesn't matter. So here we are, here's the card. As you decorate it, they open it again, they open it again, and then back to the beginning. So there are 4 sides to cover with your messages, your photos, your sentiments, your pictures, your stamping, whatever you like. It's just such a neat wee card. Just keeps going and going. Okay, there we are. The card that just keeps on giving. And here's back to my original example. That's the one I showed you at the start, already decorated. Thanks very much for watching.